right. So, just want to let you know my partner Bill here, he is in Florida. Unfortunately, he has a sister that's not feeling too well, so he had to take a trip down there this week. But as they say in show business, the show must go on. So I'm doing a solo here. It won't be too long. I'm going to talk about a couple of little things going on out there and, keep this thing posting every week if we could. And please like and subscribe. Don't forget, it really helps the channel a lot. We'll get right down to it. The first thing I want to talk about is I was never really a hockey fan, but hockey made the news. USA against Canada. There were 21,000 people in this arena, and the first 9 seconds of actual play time. The clips are a lot longer because they kept stopping the clock, but the first 9 seconds of play, they had three fights. Now I know hockey. Part of the allure of hockey is the fights, right? The referees stand back and they let them fight for a little bit, and they take each other's helmets off and they throw the gloves down and really, really go at it. And that is part of the allure of the hockey game. I know they made a lot of movies, Slapshot, movies like that really played up on the fighting part of the hockey game. But it's a tough sport. I would say sometimes tougher than football even. And these guys got a lot of stamina skating up and down that rink and firing that puck as fast as they can. And it's like a bullet coming at you. But pretty intense game. But this one started out really intense with three fights in 9 seconds. So I'm going to show you a real quick clip here. Get a load of this. It's pretty funny. I don't think this ever happened in the history of hockey when it was three fights in 9 seconds. So take a look.
Both get involved early. And Sam Bennett's not going to back down even though he's outweighed. Right off the hop. And Miller dropped the gloves and Parayko's going to answer. And Parayko's going to answer in a big way.
Okay, so that's how that started off. Then the good news is the U.S. beat Canada 3-1 in that particular game. So all those fightings and everything that started out, the game turned out pretty good, especially for USA. So we won 3-1. That's it for that. I wanted to talk a little bit about that. We had another airline crash. It was a Delta jet, and there were 80 people on board. Luckily, nobody died. There were 18 injuries, I believe, but nobody died. They're not sure exactly what happened. It was coming down on a tarmac. It looked like it came down a little bit harder than normal, and this plane, just flipped upside down and slid on the runway. But quick action from emergency crews, getting everybody off the plane. And boy, I'll tell you, it's pretty fortunate that we didn't lose anybody in this crash. But right away, the media was talking about Trump laying off these people and those people from the FAA. Well, this didn't happen in the United States. This was up in this was in Canada, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'll correct myself. But it wasn't even in the United States where this plane flipped over upon landing. But thankfully, everybody's safe, and they'll find out what happened. If it was a pilot error, if it was a gust of wind, could have flipped the plane. Nobody really knows right now. There's a lot of investigation still going on with that. So I know it seems like it's getting scary to get on a plane. I mean, my buddy Bill, like I said, he's in Florida, so he had to board a plane. But they always say it's safer to fly than driving your own car. I like to be in control, so I have trouble believing that. But there's been a few mishaps in aviation over the last month or so, and it gets a little scary. But hopefully things will get better, and we'll have a lot less of these going on. So let's talk a little bit about Doge. That's really been in the news quite a bit. I want to start off with a clip of a couple of Democratic presidents and some of the ideas that they had that I don't think they really enacted at the time when they were in as a president, but the ideas were very close to the same thing we're doing today. But we're getting a lot of pushback. Right? We're getting a lot of pushback on Elon Musk, on Doge, and what Trump is doing. And it's, I don't understand that because when they were talking about a lot of things, they were talking about consolidating different departments like the NRA and the FBI, and they were talking about 12% layoffs. I mean, this was Obama talking like this. So it's interesting how they can come up with these ideas. And at the time, nobody was giving everybody a hard time or turmoil. They thought it was a great idea. And I don't know why they don't think it is today. So there was a federal judge on Tuesday. They declined to block Elon Musk's department, government efficiency, Doge, from accessing government data or firing federal employees. So Judge Tanya Chutkan, if I said that right, declined to grant plaintiff's request to issue a temporary restraining order, citing what she said was their failure to demonstrate evidence of irreparable harm caused by Doge access. So, in other words, they're not harming anybody. We're trying to find the waste that's going on here, and that's what we're getting into, and we're finding it. And Doge is, I mean, they're talking about even possible a check in the mail to taxpayers as kind of a, I don't want to call it the same thing they call it during COVID, but there actually might be some kind of rebate or something back to our taxpayers. There's so much money that they're cutting that, we might get a little reward. That's just speculation and rumor right now, but that's very well might happen. So that's pretty good. Doge is finding a lot of different things, millions and millions of dollars. I think they found almost $1 trillion already on a lot of the wasteful spending. I mean, stuff that it just doesn't make any sense. For different countries, and it's not like we're saying, okay, this was a program to feed the starving in Cambodia or some starving country that had nothing to do with that. It was to set up a Sesame Street. It was to, just help with, building schools. For instance, right? They said something about Pakistan. I think we talked about this on our last podcast. We sent millions and millions of dollars to build schools, and nothing's been built. Nothing. So they're really finding something. But I got to talk about one thing that I'm going to elaborate on a little bit here is the Social Security. All right, I'm a Social Security recipient now. I retired in October, and it's not a lot of money, and it's tough to make it work. So whatever's there, thank heavens it's there. But Social Security, they're saying could run out by 2035, 2036. But when you look at the spending or the Social Security recipients that they have on their list of who they're paying, now God bless you if you live to 100. I got to tell you, I would love to live to 100 to see my great grandkids. That would be wonderful. I don't know what I'll look like then, and I certainly won't be doing the show, at least not on camera. But there are 4,700,000 roughly Social Security recipients at 100 years old to 109. Now let's give it the benefit of the doubt. Here's the next category: 110 to 119 years old. I think the oldest person in the world right now is 115, and he's nowhere near the U.S. 3,627,000 are listed to receive Social Security. This is the best one. All right. 140 to 149. Now, I don't care if you eat vegetables all day long, you're not going to make 140. 140 to 149, 3,542,000 people listed for Social Security benefits. And it goes over 150 years old, is over 1 million. So this is the stuff that Doge is finding. And, there are a lot of people against Elon saying he's not the president. No, he's not the president. He was put in here to look at these ledgers and look at where this money's going. And you heard Trump the other day. He was on there reading some of the spending that's going on. And before I forget, I do want to run the clip of Obama and Clinton talking about cleaning up the government and making sure spending is, in control and things like that. So just give me a second. I'll show you this clip and then we'll come back and talk more.
This report tells us how to cut waste, cut red tape, streamline the bureaucracy, change procurement rules, change the personnel rules, and create a government that works better and costs less.
I've read it, and where it says the president should, the president will.
Among the 800 recommendations, eliminating 12% of the federal workforce, merging some government agencies like the FBI, the DEA, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, closing hundreds of government offices outside Washington.
From the day I took office, one of the commitments that I made to the American people was that we would do a better job here in Washington in rooting out wasteful spending. We thought that it was entirely appropriate for our governments and our agencies to try to root out waste, large and small, in a systematic way. It means cutting some programs that I think are worthy, but we may not be able to afford right now. A lot of the action is in Congress and legislative, but in the meantime, we don't need to wait for Congress in order to do something about wasteful spending that's out.
Okay, so there you have it, right? Some ideas that we're trying to actually put into play. I mean, this is what Trump ran on. This is what he's getting done, and they're going after the price of eggs, by the way. It's saying that Trump said he was going to lower prices. They will come down. I have no doubt about it. But our focus right now is to cut this fraud, spending, and everything that's going on. It's incredible, some of the numbers that you hear. And, you get the Department of Education that's under scrutiny, the U.S. Agency for Intelligence Development, got Office of Personal Management. I believe there was something like $35 million there they found. Health and Human Services, Department of Agriculture, Department of Homeland Security. All these people are going to go under an audit, is basically what he's doing. And stop this wasteful spending. This is part of why we're in such debt. Trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. And they're finding them, and people are getting mad about it. I'm not sure why, but they are. And they're very open about what's going on. They're very transparent, which is something that you don't really hear that much in any government, especially in ours anymore, that they're transparent about everything they're doing. You can go to a website and you can find out what these people are finding, what Elon Musk's people are digging into. And yes, they are young people, understand that, but don't forget, our youngest, smartest people, sometimes they're the ones that find all this stuff. They're the ones that can get into computers, and those are the ones that can find any fraud that's hidden behind the corners. And so, we can't give him a hard time about that. He's picking qualified people. They're not stealing our money. Yeah, they may have access to certain things we don't want them to have access to, but this guy's worth $60 billion. Like I said before, he's not using my social security number to buy stuff or to take a loan. So it's been a whirlwind since he got in. There's no question about it. He's moving fast. We were the borders, another thing he wrote on his election, and people wanted him to do this, and he's doing it. There were 150, I think, apprehensions at the border last week, or on a daily basis, pardon me, where we were doing thousands of people a day. So already they know not to come over. So the reason that they're down is that they're not coming here. They know they're not going to just walk in this country like they have been for the last few years. So it's just not going to happen. So they're not coming. Now they spin it the other way. Other people have different opinions as to why it's down. Because, Biden changed this, changed that, whatever. But, it started to get on the pricing of eggs. the price of egg kick, Biden ordered 100 million chickens because of bird flu. I understand why he did it, but that made a shortage of eggs across the board, which made the eggs go up even higher. But let's not forget, it went up 65% when Biden was in office, prior to having to thin out the herd, so to speak, because of bird flu. So, you know, everything gets blamed on Trump. And I understand people don't like him, but he's doing the stuff that he said he was going to do. And right now, we have to try to be patient, try not to look at it as a bad thing. And we have to come together in this world. I mean, this is like so ridiculous. I mean, we're you know, and the Republicans do the same thing, right? They're still showing Kamala Harris, however you say it, you know, with these speeches, and she's still got word salads going on, and it's over. You know, we got to stop going back and forth here. I would love to see more people come together in this country and talk about it. Let's have discussions. I know some people that they don't even talk to their family members anymore because of, you know, their political views. Everybody's got their opinion, and I'm here to tell you I have my opinion too. But I'm willing to talk to somebody. You know, tell me why you think it's bad that they're finding all this fraud and all this money. Where's it going? You got people in the Senate and in the House making $250,000, $300,000 a year, and their net worth's $47 million. You know, where's that money going? Where's it coming from? Are they great investors? Maybe. You know, maybe they bought Bitcoin back in 2010. I don't know. But this is what they're doing. So we got to do our best to let them do their thing and, you know, uncover the fraud, stop the spending. Maybe we'll get a little check out of it. Wouldn't that be nice? Maybe we can expand, you know, if we stop paying people that are 140 years old, maybe Social Security will be a lot more rich than it is right now, with no worry about it going away in 2035. So, you know, we have to think about that. If we stop paying 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to, you know, 12 million checks going out there, that's quite a chunk of money that can go right back into the fund. So, like I said, me as a Social Security recipient, I hope that works out that way. I don't have too much. I want to keep this a short show. Hopefully Bill will be back next week. I think he's due back on Sunday, depending on what goes on with his sister down there in Florida. So I wanted to keep this short, but I do want to mention one last thing. You know, we work hard at this. We do our homework. We try to make sure we have the facts. And we are on, first thing we're on is YouTube, right? We have the video. If you want to see our handsome faces, we're on the video. And we just, if you're watching it, just hit the like and subscribe button. You know, give us some comments. You know, even if they're not good, I'm willing to hear what's going on. We are posting shorts also, clips of what we did on the whole show. Again, on YouTube. We have the audio version on YouTube. We're in Spotify. We're in Apple Podcasts. We're on Pandora now. We're on iHeartRadio, by the way, also. And again, you can just search the Joe and Bill Show, exactly like that, and it'll come up in most platforms right away. And enjoy it. You know, listen in. We're trying to grow an audience, and we're looking for feedback. We're really hoping you enjoy it. We know that this is a little bit leaning right, but I always try to keep it, you know, factual and to the point. So this was episode 11. And Bill, hope things are good down there. And we hope to see him back next week. So we'll see you then. With that said, enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great day. Thanks.